Hey there, Brian Hawkins, Next Step Survival, and it's February the, 16th or 15th or something like that, middle of February 2021. Whole country seems to be snowed in today, and I live in Michigan, so it's just another day on the farm for us, even though we're not on a farm. But anyway, so today I pulled everything out of the back of one of my cars, and to check the tire pressure and all that on the spare, and check batteries and flashlights. You should do this every now and then. And it just occurred to me it's a pretty good time to do a video, so I went in and grabbed my phone. And well, as I'm putting things back together, I'll start recording it. So let me show you what we're going to start with. Stand by. Alright, so we're a couple of days later. I'm going to redo this section here of this video because it really sucked bad. Sudden movements, loud noises, spikes. Even though I have dogs in the background right now, I apologize for that. Something has set off the neighborhood dogs and they won't stop. They've been going like that for over an hour. Anyway, so I still got some road noise because I'm on a corner lot here. But anyway, so that's the back of a Ford Edge, an older Ford Edge. Not a lot of room in there, and I just want to give you a look at it, what it looks like when it's all packed. Because I'm getting ready to start this video over, so I'm going to pull all that out, and I'm going to show you what's underneath, and then I'm going to bring that big black pack out, that one there, and I'm going to bring that into the garage and go over that on a table. Because the last video I did, which is actually on YouTube right now, but it was so bad with every time I touched anything. I was using the microphone on the phone, so it wasn't doing very well at all. It was just horrible audio and jerking the phone around and stuff. The first comment I got said, good content, but I was getting dizzy trying to watch it, so I totally understand that. So we're going to fix that right now. So I'm going to pull all that out, and we'll be right back with you. Alright, so I reversed the mic, so hopefully that didn't affect anything too bad. But spare tire. Inside the spare tire I threw spare set of jumper cables. I don't need those, you'll see that. Those extra. Just because it's in there and I'm not going to lift that tire up. I don't really need it. Because I have another set for each vehicle. I'm going to move you here. Alright, so a 20-foot and a 10-foot tow straps, just in case I got to get towed out. Wow, those dogs, I don't understand what's there. There might be like something's running around that's causing them to do that for over an hour now. Some emergency road flares, fire extinguisher that I blew some of it out by accident. Inside this, let's see how that was kind of showing. Inside this pouch, inside that pocket right there, it's just a survival kit. I've got these somewhere on nextstepsurvival.com. I don't remember if it's a video or a blog post, or I don't remember. But where I've built several of these, I don't know, 6 or 8 of these kits. And it's got Dave Canterbury's 10 C's of Survival. And this is the, and more actually. So, I mean, it's got everything that he would recommend in a survival kit. And then some of my own added into it. But it's a nice little grab and go type of pack. And I don't know if you can see that right there, but it just goes in this little cubby hole because there happens to be a cubby hole right there. A jack, a garbage jack that I wouldn't trust to save my life, and tire iron or lug wrench, 4-way lug wrench. And then here I'm going to go ahead and close this before I move into that rest of that stuff. Hold on. So here I wanted to mention that's not sitting flush anymore. And that's because I took the little donut tire, and I do this with all of my vehicles. If it came with the donut spare, I take the donut out, and then I go down to a salvage yard and I buy a full-size rim and put a tire, usually a decent used tire on that rim for a spare. Or if I need the new tires, which was the case of this car, when I bought this car, it was used, I put on new tires and I took the best of the 4 that was on it and put it for a spare. That gives me a full-size spare tire that will last a lot longer than one of those little donut tires. So that's why that's sitting up. And I'm going to move over here. Alright, so this is a little... all this is set up in case I run up on an accident, right? So this isn't really necessarily for me. It could be me or the occupant of the vehicle, but more than likely this stuff would be used if I come upon an accident and I can render some assistance, even though I'm not a professional. Just a CPR mask. We're in the middle of a pandemic, as you know. Before I pull this out, I want to just demonstrate a couple of things. This is a tourniquet. A tourniquet shouldn't be wrapped up in plastic, in my opinion, tucked, buried inside of a pack somewhere where you can't get to it. You literally have seconds to stop the bleed, right? The last thing you want to do is be digging around in a pack and probably with some bloody hands trying to open up a plastic bag and then set your tourniquet up. You know, so if that's you, but even if it's not you, the same scenario goes. So I have this tourniquet just set where you can just literally with one hand just pull it out, and it's well, I'm trying not to use my other hand, but if you had to, you could open it up and get your arm in there. But it's just set up to where it's easy to, you know, grab and go. And I just stick it in there just enough to hold it and keep it from losing it. Also, I have an emergency bandage, is what this is called, but it's from Recon Medical, and it's just a pressure dressing. That's all that is. It's similar to what we know as Israeli bandage. This has these little tabs in here so that it's easy to rip and go. Again, if your hands are covered with blood, that's going to be an issue. I do have a couple of these. There's another internal plastic wrap in here as well, so that's another obstacle you gotta consider. And I'm already missing a roll. There's rolled gauze that was supposed to be in there, and I don't know why it's not. So that's kind of part of why you do this type of thing. But I'm gonna take this first aid kit, and I'm gonna stick it in the garage where it's warmer and quieter, and we'll tackle this when I get back inside there. Also, I have a seatbelt cutter and a window breaker. This is in case I come upon a accident, you know, car accident. I need to get somebody out of a vehicle. I cut your seatbelt. I can open their window. You know, that type of thing. So this is for back here. I have the same stuff: tourniquet, first aid kit, compression bandage, window breaker, different type of one, a seatbelt cut. All that's up in the cab. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start putting everything back in here, and I'll just show you as I get it in there. Milk crate. Very innovative, right? So here I've got oil, antifreeze, window cleaner or windshield washer fluid, power steering fluid, all that kind of stuff. the various fluids that you would need. There's some light bulbs in there, rag, funnel, that type of stuff. A little flashlight. I actually just replaced the batteries in that. When I did the video the first time, that stays there. Little tool pouch. This is just a siphon kit, okay, for in case I have an emergency and need to get some fuel. Only for an emergency, not to save money. This is just a little bag of parts, okay, so we keep plenty of spare parts, just hoping that one of the things that goes wrong with the vehicle may be something that I can repair myself. Some electrical tape, hose clamps. This right here is tire repair. I've done that. I've actually get this on Instagram, I think, somewhere a couple years ago. I've plugged my own tires a bunch of times over the years. A various size hose repair kit with the hose clamps, a couple of light bulbs, which probably are useless in today's vehicles, some cheap fuses, and this is just some zip ties, some duct tape, some electrical tape, and then I don't know what's inside that little tin. I think it's just some, I don't know. I'm sure it's very important. Anyway, I'm going to put all that back. Alright, so I got all that back in here, and then the rest of this is kind of the same type of thing. A little bit of wire, a little fix-it wire, some fix-it strapping, rag. What is that? Got some rope, some more light bulbs, some more strapping, banding. Battery terminal, more light bulbs, pen, paper, map, highway map, loud neighbors, and I'll get all this out of the way and move on to the next thing. So this is just kind of like a repair kit is all this is, you know, in hopes that whatever has got me on the side of the road is minor, and maybe I'll be able to, you know, assist myself in getting further down the road instead of calling AAA, which I have. Alright, so this right here, this is just a pretty much for tires. It's three things to fix it flat. It's got some spare pair of gloves in there, a little 12-volt compressor, and down in the bottom there is there's more tire fix-it stuff, a little bit better than what I had in that spare one. Tire gauge, and my glue's leaking out, but anyway, another tire plug kit, and down at the bottom is I'm not going to dig that out, but it's a battery pack for starting your car. And then this is just a cheap tool kit, just cheap stuff. I mean, you know, cars get stolen, they get broken into, so keep some basic tools that everybody probably would generally have in their garage or their car stuff. Nothing elaborate, nothing expensive. Right, so this is just a spare an older small portable floor jack. So this is what I'd use to jack up the car to change the tire. I do have that junky one that came with it, you know, if I had a, you know, as a emergency. Sorry about the noise. But that just stays up there. This just drops down right there. that up there, I guess. Oh, actually, that one over here. No. That's just an empty backpack. This is one of I like to hike a lot, or I used to, not so much anymore. But this is one of my first and very inexpensive backpacks. A little Field and Stream, $120 or something like that. And I'll just stick that right here. Now, if I got to throw some stuff on my back and walk away, I got the pack to do it with. That right there is self-explanatory. This is just the window film. Protect your, keep the heat out of your car. But any bushcrafters out there are aware. If you get a fire going, this reflective surface right here keep you warmer, reflect that heat back at you. Little ice melt to get you out of a situation, maybe help you get out of a spot that you're stuck in. More jumper cables, a little bit better quality than the ones that's stuck underneath that tire. Well, it's not stuck, but I just don't want to deal with it. Little cheap shovel. It's extended. This is about it. Again, just to help get you out of a spot. These are pretty cool little scrapers here for snow. Extends. Got a nice reach on it. Use this all the time. Unfortunately, no ice scraper. I just keep that one right there. This right here, I just try to keep these within reach. Stuck on the side of the road, changing your tire, maybe you can't get all the way off the road. You don't want to get run down. I've got a set of three of these in the kit, and it's just little electronic flares. There's a little flashlight part right there, and it has magnets. It's in my car metal, so there we go. So you can literally just stick it on the car if you need to, or put it out on the road. Can't get that off. All right. And that's what this is. This is how this whole video began. Checking batteries, airing up a tire, that type of thing, and then it turned into this video. So this is the last thing before I take us in the garage here. This is my everyday carry, my EDC get home bag. This goes with me everywhere I go. I don't carry it around on my shoulder, any kind of ridiculous thing like that. But it stays in whatever vehicle that took me wherever I'm at. So I'm a truck driver, so it'll leave this whatever vehicle I drive to work. This will go with me. I'll take this out of that vehicle and take it and put it in my truck that I drive at work. I'm just saying it's just within reach. I have a separate video on my channel on this. I'll try to remember to leave a link below if you want to see what's inside that. With that, let's move into the warmth, or at least a little warmer in there. Sharpie in case we got to write a tourniquet time. Little knife, seatbelt cutter, and all that kind of thing on there too. A couple little flashlights. Side here we've got some shears, EMT shears, very cheap versions. This kit here is one of these pull-aways, right? So if this was on a pack using Molly, none of this would be there, but you'd be able just to rip the whole pack off, which is how I keep. I think there may be one in there, but some of my survival kits that I put together are using this same type pack, but only green or black, not red. But it opens up. Oh, there's that was supposed to be. So that was in there. That's supposed to be in there with this. All right, so a tourniquet, and I like to keep this roll out so that I can just grab it and run if I need to. So that's what happened to that. I was wondering. All right, so I'm in Detroit 5 days a week, and it's not just a Detroit issue, but there's more people there. but opioid overdose is common now, so I keep a couple of Narcans with me in my first aid kit for that reason, along with some ammonia inhalants, and also in here some iodine. So if we can't try to revive somebody, I haven't ran across a situation where I've had to utilize anything like that. Here's another pressure bandage, trauma bandage, and then some more gauze, emergency blanket, some stretch gauze, more gauze. Gauze runs out quick in emergency, from what I hear. I'm not a medic, as I mentioned. Plenty of other first aid things that you see in every pack. I'm not going to go over this whole thing. It'll be too time consuming. I've got some S-roll gauze for wound packing. I think that's pretty much it for the, some big old 4x4s back here. So I'll go ahead and put all this back, and we'll move on into the pack here. Alright, so this is where things get a little crazy, okay? So this is a kit that I keep in whatever vehicle I'm driving, not my work truck though, okay? So my cars. So, spin it around here. So, if whatever car I'm in at that time, this goes out of that car into that next car. At night, if I don't have my car in the garage, which I generally don't, because my wife won't let me. But anyway, so she parks her car in here, and she's got a similar pack that stays in the car. She's not going to go through all the stuff that I go through. But I will take this pack, and I'll take it out, and I'll throw it on my workbench over there, which is full right now because I got another project going. But I'll put it over there on that workbench. And then in the morning, when I go out and start my car, because I don't have one of those fancy remote starts that a lot of people love, I'll put in I'll put that pack in the back, along with my lunch pail and my coffee cup, because I don't want that to get broken into while I'm sleeping. Even though we got cameras all over the house, inside and out. See how far this is tilt back. So you can see that right there. There's a camera. So I got cameras all in the inside and out. But you know what that does? That just allows me to watch it get broken into. It's after the fact. It's probably never going to have any. It's not going to get my stuff back. Is what I'm getting at. So I prefer just to play it safe. And I don't have enough gear of this sort to keep in every vehicle. So my wife has hers, and then I have this, and then whatever I'm driving. So I'll just start going through some of this real quick. This right here, pullover jacket, microfiber towel. This is a fleece and wool mix jacket. It's very warm. I mentioned that I like hiking. That's where a lot of this stuff came from. This right here is some socks, some wool socks. I'm not going to open it up, but I'm going to show you how condensed you can make something. So this is a spare pair of underwear, long johns, Dentalate ones, a microfiber t-shirt, which we'd call our base layer, and then all wrapped up in these wool socks. And I just put it in this little dry sack. All right, so the socks especially are important. But if you want to layer up, now we've got a shirt, a t-shirt, thermals, wool socks. We're already, see, with the first two things out here, we're layering. These are just some work gloves, Frosty grip. I use these at work. I'm a truck driver, and this is literally what I use all winter long because everything's wet. I'm in Michigan. Everything's always wet in the winter. This is just a cheap little tarp that I've had for years, and it makes a good ground cover. Wool blanket. This is I've got tons of these wool blankets. You can pick these up on eBay. All you know, if you go to a yard sale or something, grab especially the military type ones that a lot of people love to try to sell those in the flea markets. This can come in handy. You break down for a few hours waiting on tow truck or whatever. You know, you can stay warm with something like this if it's a situation where you can't run your car, or, and this has actually happened to me, when you run onto an accident and somebody's laying out in the street, actually on the sidewalk, cold in the snow, and you can't move them. This is very valuable in a situation like that. Another, and I didn't mark this one, so let's see what this big surprise is. I can't believe I didn't have this marked. Alright, so this looks like another jacket. So I may take this out. I'm not even sure what it's in there for, but another little jacket. I think I'm going to probably take that and put it in my wife's car. That's what this is. This isn't even supposed to be in here, because this is another setup like that with the wool sock. So this is coming out in my pack. So ignore that. Act like I didn't even show you that. If you bring that up, I'll say, I don't even know what you're talking about. Alright, so these things here are pretty simple. I always keep one of these in my packs. Yeah, they're hiking around. You want to sit your pack down. It's muddy, it's dirt, whatever. Just throw this down. It's wet. Throw your pack on there. It's also good. You want to sit on a log or something that's all wet. Throw this. Just, you know, I keep it on top, and you just sit on that. It's just a way to stay dry. Keep your pack dry. This is just a what do we call this here? It's got toilet paper, masks, all that type of sanitary type of stuff. Hygiene kit. I'm sorry, that's what I call this. Hygiene kit. These are just some waters. Now I have a whole case, and if I can think about it, I'll snap a picture. I don't want to go back out and start video in the car again. It's just too noisy. But I keep a case of water on the floor in there that freezes and refreezes, and so far it's been fine. This is ice cold, and you do see some ice in there, but it generally won't freeze so bad in and out of the garage like this. I'll give you an example. Here's one that's been just sitting idle in the garage, and you can see where it's starting to blow out the bottom here. Hopefully it doesn't blow all the way out, but this is from the movement, right? So it's moving around in a vehicle. It's moving around as I'm moving it in and out. And this is just sitting idle in the garage and just froze solid. So that's the difference. So there's the water. I have some squeeze water containers. They're empty. That go, and these are the larger ones. I just bought these separately. Amazon for my Sawyer Mini. And then I have a couple of adapters here for a hydration pack, and I got the little backflow tube. Also in here, I think it's in here. Yeah. I have this Sawyer that I should put in there. So there's two. And then somewhere in here I have a life straw. So there's a life straw. So plenty of water filtration. Way overkill. I know this, right? But so I'll get out there, and if I come up, like, find a cool place and I have time, I will sometimes just pull off into a trailhead or something, start pulling out gear that I need, pack up, throw it in the pack that you've seen in the back, throw it on my back, and I'll just hit the trail for a few hours. Never an overnight like that. I plan an overnight, but I like to get out in nature, and I like to get out and away from all this noise and stuff. And it helps me think. And a lot of this stuff that you see here, you can think, what in the world would he use that for? Well, that's more than likely what I'll use it for, is those camp. You know, I'll go out there if I got 2 or 3 hours and I'm going to have some lunch. Guess what? I'm set. I go out in the woods, cook me some lunch, enjoy some time, set up a hammock. Not today, not at 5 degrees. But I thought I'd bring that up because some of this stuff is going to seem very, very much overkill. So, here's my food kit. I can literally live on this for well over a week. I don't know how much food is in here. I build these kits. I'm not going to pull all this out. Most of it's freeze-dried, dehydrated. I do have some things in here that will probably freeze, like rice cauliflower, although it doesn't feel frozen at all. So that's probably, again, just the same with the water, because it's going in and out of the back of my car every day. This is just a condiments pack, some coffee, tea, all that type of stuff, you know, I think. So, yeah, this is stuff like that. Little spoon or fork or whatever on there, and put this aside. Fire starting kit. Everything that you could think of. These little zip things that I've mentioned over and over in videos. I won't go into that, but I'm just so impressed with these little zip things starting a fire that I just literally won't leave home without it. Ferro rod. Bic lighter, that's kind of important for starting a fire. Got some birch bark in here, some jute twine, wax jute twine. Got magnesium fire starter. I even have flint and steel in here just because it's fun to play with. You know, just to get out there and just mess around with stuff. Plus, they make for good videos. I got some char cloth in here. I've got some fat wood in here and some fat wood shavings in a baggie, so I can get a fire going. That's never been an issue. This is coming out. This is just a little survival kit that I was building my grandson, and I'm gonna give that to him. Little snug pack poncho. Got to get out there in the weather. This is come in handy, so you can see it's well used. This is just a blanket, a down blanket. It's very comfy, but it's also very warm. This is just a little emergency shelter thing, so you don't see me. You know, I have a ground cloth, a little tarp, but I have a tarp in the back that I don't even think I mentioned, but. This is like a little insulated bivvy, and then a contractor, actually 2 contractor trash bags, and that's pretty much it with that. And then some various cordage here. So I got some tarred bank line and various little hanks of paracord. I think that's about it. Then inside here we've got, this is one of those little roly-poly bags. You know, unrolls for like foraging. So, you know, if you got something to add to your pack. In here we just got a little fork and a lighter. Spoon, fork, and lighter. Then another one of those little zip things that I said I love. And, that's getting stuck there, but another little fork and spoon down in there. And then nested, I hope my audio is coming out pretty good. I put on an external microphone on this phone here. And it's an older phone. I've got a Galaxy S21, but I didn't realize that I had to buy an adapter to hook up an external mic. That's why that video that I did a couple of days ago sucked so bad, or one of the reasons. This is a clean canteen. Again, it's well used, but it's stainless steel. And then inside here I keep, along with, and this, by the way, this like bandana type of material, this cotton is good for making char cloth if you happen to think you're going to need some. A long spoon is kind of handy when you're stirring up some tea or something, or some soup. So I got a couple of those. This is a titanium one. A little straw. Now this is helps you like fire starting or to heat up your embers there when you're cooking. And then there. It's amazing how much you can fit in that little space there. That's the only reason I'm even opening this up. And then you've probably seen, if you watch YouTube videos, you've seen these, because that's where I got all this from. I didn't invent any of this. So this is just one way to grab something, a little hook, to grab this out of a fire. Okay, and then this is another option. So that's gonna clip open here. I know I'm a little afraid of it. So you've seen that before, I'm sure, and you can tie that up to like a little tripod type of thing and over your fire. Just toss all that, put that back in a second. And then inside there is a typical Gsi cup that you see every bushcrafter out there using, unless they've upgraded to the titanium and that. But this is the cheap stuff. It's a very snug fit. I've tried several different brands of these whatever this is, I forgot what it's called now, these water bottle things, and they're all tight. But this is little Gsi. It's again very well used, and then of course, just like everybody else, I keep the oh, that's really dirty in there. Put the little scrub thing. And it just nests in there nice and easy. Put your stuff in there. Now everything's convenient. This is a headlamp. I'm going to speed up here because I'm going too long. Another first aid kit. I don't think I need to really get into going into more first aid stuff. But like I mentioned, that first aid kit that I showed you over here, that stays in the vehicle. This doesn't. Or actually it does, but it's in whatever vehicle I'm driving. The same with this is a trauma kit. So here we have another tourniquet out of the wrap, Israeli bandage, some quick clot for like a little trauma kit, and then here's another one of those bags that I was talking about. So this kit here, this pouch or bag or whatever it is the same as this one. This is just black. And I've added a little bit to it. And that's a compass in there. Inside here it's just going to be right in the rain. And space pen. And then inside of this, like I said, I've shown all this before so many times, but just another little survival kit without, I'm just going to zoom in on it for a second, and I'm not going to, do I know how to zoom? Yeah. So it's just a little survival kit that I like to put together, and another grab and go thing. So this one here will literally rip right off of there. So it's all Velcro. So if I had to grab one thing out of my car and couldn't carry this whole thing because I'm not Hercules, I would probably grab this and just pull that right off of there. And you know, if I had to go in a hurry. That's pretty much it. I'm not, how do I unzoom here? I'm sorry, I'm so unprofessional with this kind of stuff. There. Alright guys, it was fun. I just came out here to air up a tire and it turned out into a long video, but that's what we do here. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to critique me any way you want. Tell me what you would carry in yours, what you wouldn't carry. Don't call me names, I'll delete your comment. No problems doing that. We'll get some really weird guys on there. But anyway, so let me know what you're doing and where you're at. That's important. Tell me where you're at. People say I carry, you know, this and that, and then I don't even, I mean, I don't need to know your address, but just tell me what part of the country or the world you're in. That can make a difference on what you carry. Actually, today, even the guys down in Texas or Georgia or something probably want a snow shovel. You know, so, and they're getting just hammered south of me. So I had to come out and do that this morning. But you're living in Texas, like my buddy Todd, you're living in Texas and you're not going to have that because, you know, once in a century snowstorm comes and you're not worried about snow blowing or pushing some snow, right? So I feel for those guys down there. I believe some places south of here got way more. So you just jumped and leaped right off of my phone holder here. So, all right, that's it. I'm going to go inside, warm up. You guys have a good one. Stay safe, stay dry, stay warm. Brian Hawkins, Next Step Survival. We're out of here. Bye now.